snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do part 2 in my June wrap-up. This is going to be all of the illustrated children's fiction and also graphic novels and comics and single issues that I read in the month of June. I read quite a few as always, and I received some beautiful, stunning, fantastic books this month, so I really want to tell you guys about them. I'm going to go from lowest rating to highest rating. If you guys haven't seen my novels and novellas wrap up, then I'll link that one because that should be already up. Let's get started. First one I have to show you guys is this one. I believe this one is pronounced Gesh because it is a Gaelic word. It says in the front that you pronounce it Gesh, and this is Gesh, A Matter of Life and Death by Alexis Deacon. This one was sent to me by Nobrow, but unfortunately it wasn't really my thing. I liked the look of it from the cover. I thought it was going to be quite bookish and quite interesting, but the artwork within wasn't really my favourite style, and that does put me off quite a lot when I'm reading graphic novels. So it wasn't bad. The story was okay, the artwork was okay, but unfortunately it came out of this just being okay. It wasn't blowing my mind, it didn't really captivate me, it felt a little bit simplistic, and I think that's understandable because it is a children's story. It's about a chieftain who dies and the people of her village or town have to battle to become the next chieftain. It's interesting, but it wasn't really my thing, so I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars overall. The next one I read was a single issue, and this is Pretty Deadly issue number 9, which is almost the last one in the arc that they're currently doing. I really liked a few of the previous ones, but this one didn't grip me as much, so I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars overall. However, I will be picking up the actual volume when that comes out. The next 2 that I read both came from the same publishing company, and these are part of the same series, which is the Little People Big Dreams series. This was sent to me by Quarto Publishing Group. It's a non-fiction series that tells you a little bit about each of the people who are on the front covers. This one is Maya Angelou, and this one is Frida Kahlo. The Frida Kahlo one was my least favourite, so I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but this one I thought was about the same, so I also gave Maya Angelou a 3 out of 5 stars. They're both likeable, like I say, but I knew a bit too much about these characters, so they were kind of simplistic for me. However, for kids, I do think these would be absolutely ideal. Next one I have is How to Survive in the North, which is by Luke Healy, and this was sent to me by Nobrow. This is a really interesting look at a non-fiction story being interwoven with a fiction story. We have the non-fiction story of various Arctic expeditions going on, and then we have a fiction story about a man who's kind of going through a midlife crisis. It was an interesting blend. I didn't really like the present-day midlife crisis storyline. I much preferred the non-fiction adaptation storyline. I thought that was much, much better. The artwork within is really poppy. It's really bright, minty colours. It really does have that stark appeal of sort of the northern hemisphere, and I really loved the artwork. I thought it was great. However, the story let it down a little bit for me, so I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars overall. Still one I'd recommend, especially if you are interested in Arctic expeditions, but possibly not my favourite one because of the other storyline. The next one I have is another one in the Little People Big Dreams series, and this is the Coco Chanel one. I really enjoyed this one. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars because the artwork within this one was a lot more what I like, and I really loved this sort of dark, sombre tone to this one. Even though the story isn't sombre, the artwork is, and I really like that. So 3.5 for that one. The next one I read was WRAITHBORN issue number 4, and I really enjoyed this series. It's written by the same team who do Lady Mechanika. It's quite a fun one. I'll certainly be picking up the volume when it comes out, and I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next one I read was a single issue, and this is the first one in the LUMBERJANES Gotham Academy crossover series that is going on. I wanted to read this because, you know, I like Lumberjanes and Gotham Academy very much so, and I wanted to see how they would do when they met with each other, and I think it's really fun so far. Obviously it's only one issue, so I can't judge an awful lot off of it, but I liked it a lot, and I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I'll probably continue on with the series because I want to see what's going to happen next. The next one I have is this one. It is the Amelia Earhart Little People Big Dreams book, and this one was absolutely my favourite in the series that they sent out to me because I'd never heard of her before, and I was so gripped by her story. It was so interesting. This is a great introduction to her life, and the artwork was absolutely beautiful as well. It's really bold, it's really bright, it's really exciting, and there's a good amount of text on each page compared to the actual artwork too, so really beautiful, as I say, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars, so that was excellent. The next one I have was this one, Hilda and the Bird Parade by Luke Pearson, and this one was sent to me by Flying Eye Books, which is an imprint of Nobrow. This is super short, as you can see, but it's fantastic. I love the main character within this, I love the artwork style, I love the story, it was fun, it was feisty, it was really beautiful, there were some great moments with the main character, and I just really enjoyed this. So this one got a 4 out of 5 stars from me, and I certainly want to pick up others in the series because it is an ongoing series, and I think this is the third one, but I really want to pick up the others because each one is a single adventure, so definitely love this. The next one I have to show you guys is this one. It is Owen Davies' Smart About Sharks, and this was also sent to me by Flying Eye Books. I requested this one after seeing it in a shop and thought it looked really great, and it is. It's all about sharks. It's quite a simplistic book, so it's easy for kids to understand, but it's beautifully illustrated. Owen Davies has a distinct style, which is lovely, and there are some great facts in here that I didn't know, so I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars overall, and I definitely would recommend this for kids. If you have a child who's interested in sharks, they might love this. The next one I have is also one that was sent to me by Flying Eye Books, and this one is called Beautiful Birds, and it's by J. ROUSSEN and E. Walker, and this one was fabulous. It's written in rhyme, and it's kind of an alphabet of various different birds, and you have illustrations to go along with it. It's so beautiful. I mean, look at the end papers. That one is really cool, but then I got to the other end and realised that they'd all come out of the eggs. It's so cute. But the actual artwork within this is stunning for every page. I just adored this. It was so gorgeous, so beautiful. All of the bird species were really easy to identify if you already knew them, and it was just absolutely lovely. So I really enjoyed this, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars as well. The next one I have was also sent to me by Flying Eye Books, and this is Archie, Snufflekins, Oliver, Valentine, Cupcake, Tiberius, Cat, and it's written by Katie Harnett and illustrated by her as well. This is a super tiny little book. It's a children's illustrated book about this cat who goes around various houses in the neighbourhood and basically gets given lots of free treats all over the place, and he eventually comes to the old lady who doesn't really get many visitors, and he ends up staying there, and it's a beautiful little story. I think the illustrations are like pencil or watercolour, and they are just really beautiful. So definitely one I would recommend for children again, and it's absolutely lovely. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. The next one I have and that I read is actually a comic, and this one I picked up myself. It's ODY-C Volume 2, and it's called Sons of the Wolf, and it's by Matt Fraction and Christian Ward. This was really good. I didn't love it as much as I liked the first volume because it kind of focuses on very different characters and takes a different tone, but I still love the artwork and love the style that they're going with, and the story was still super interesting. It's very colourful, it's very vibrant, as you can see, and I just think this is a super awesome series. I love it. It's kind of a sci-fi space version of the Odyssey, crossed with gender flipping and all sorts of other stuff. Very cool. 4 out of 5 stars for this one. The next one I have is called The Journey, and this is by Francesca Sanna, and this was sent to me by Flying Eye Books as well, and it's a beautiful children's book all about migration and immigration and having to leave the place that you thought was home, and it's really lovely. I really love the illustrations within this. I think they're beautiful. I think the text was really kind of on point. It was just a very beautiful depiction of having to leave a country and move on with your life and start somewhere afresh. So I really enjoyed this, kind of in the same vein as The Arrival, but this one does have text. The next one I read was Monstress issue number 6. This one was fabulous, as are all of the Monstress issues so far. I have really enjoyed them. It's a really enjoyable series, kind of kick-ass, kind of awesome, and I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next one I have is The Wolves of CURRUMPAW, which is by William Grill. This was beautiful, absolutely stunning, and this was sent to me by Nobrow again. I just adored this. It was so good. It was based on a non-fiction story about a young wolf and his pack and how they are basically terrorising the local cattle and stealing from the humans who live there because they don't really have an option. Everywhere else has been farmed and taken over, and so they have to eat the cattle to survive. But this wolf is super intelligent and he knows how to not get caught in traps, so it's kind of a battle between humans and the wolves, and it's so beautiful. Some of the artwork within here was fabulous. I love the sort of tribal designs, I think they're fabulous, but some of the artwork, sort of the positioning of the animals and the way that he drew these really vast plains, I just really enjoyed. I mean, pages like this are just so stunning, like so stunning. So it was fabulous, and I'll definitely be talking more about this in a full review very soon because it was just so good and I really liked this. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The next one I read was Lady Mechanika, Lost Boys of the Abbey, issue number 1, which is the new arc being started by Lady Mechanika team, Joe Benitez and Chen. I really loved this. I think it might be my favourite arc so far, especially if it continues in the same vein as it has done. So I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars, thought it was absolutely great and cannot wait to carry on with the arc. And the final one that I have to show you guys is this one, which is so beautiful. I got really emotional reading this because it's that beautiful. This was sent to me again by No Brow and it's just stunning. It's called Wild Animals of the North and it's by Braun, and as you can see from the cover, I mean the cover itself is absolutely gorgeous anyway, but when you open up the book, every page, and I mean every single page, is stunning. Like every page is stunning. Look at them, just oh my goodness. So you have various animals who live in the northern regions of the world, and you have a little bit of text next to some of them telling you a bit more about them, like their habitat, what they eat, things like that. But the actual artwork is incredible. I think I loved this. I absolutely loved this. Some of these pages really were just breathtaking, absolutely breathtaking, and some of the colours he uses are just stunning. I just think the way he does form, the way he does colour, the way he does everything works so well and I love it. So, just absolutely marvellous. I adored this and I will certainly do a full review and show you guys some of the pictures up close because this is so good. It was honestly my favourite of the month. In terms of graphic stuff and illustrated stuff, it was just way above everything. It was just so good. So if you like nature, if you like animals, definitely check this out. Plus, if you like illustration that is just absolutely jaw-dropping, this is the one. Gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, of course. So those are all of the graphic and illustrated things that I read this month. I think you'll agree there was a rather large selection of stuff, all very different, all very exciting, so many good ones and so many that I really would recommend you go and check out, especially if you are interested in beautiful books. Then No Brow is fantastic, Quarto is fantastic. I'll link both of their websites down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave me all your comments below. Thank you to the publishers who sent me stuff, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.